And welcome back to another special edition of Grind.Music.Repeat. It's your host, Draquan, HoodRock TV, whatever y'all like to do with that. I'm with a special guest today, all the way from California, Miss Glenda Benavides. How are you doing today?
Good. Nice to meet you. Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about that cold. You say it's California cold over there.
California cold is 48 degrees. I'm like, wow.
Woo. I can deal with a 48 though. 48 ain't that bad. But get down to 30 something. Hey, hold on. I gotta stay in the house. Okay. Okay. So for people that that ain't familiar with who you are, what you do, give them a little brief introduction.
Okay. Well, let's see. Long time singer-songwriter. I've toured most of the world. I love it. I love people. And I'm Recording Academy voting member. So that's been fun. And I've been doing that for the last 3 years. And what else I'm an author. I'm a humanist. I care about people and uplifting people and talking about the things that we really need to talk about, and not from a place of like, oh, I'm a victim, or, oh, that's a problem, but more like from a place of like, okay, I see the issue. What can we do to rise above it and make a shift? So that's kind of me in a nutshell. I love to sing.
You make it happen. You a solution maker. Okay.
Yes, right. That's right.
Go with that right there. So let's kick it off. So start or beginning into like music. Like, how did it start? Where does it come from?
Yeah, I came up. I was born in Oakland, California. We lived
shout out to Oaktown.
Shout out to Oaktown. We lived in East Oakland, and then my parents moved up to Oregon. So I kind of felt like I lived two different lives, two different worlds, and I was in a blue collar worker family. And so I didn't really have opportunities to like, oh, we're going to do music, or my family did music, or any of that. I was kind of on my own. And I think it was in grade school that they were back when they offered music for free. And so I had an opportunity to play around with instruments and my voice and that type of thing. And then just one thing led to another. I ended up, singing in the choir, and just kind of moved up. And just, I never stopped doing it. My first gig was, I was 16, and it was a wedding. And I got paid.
Okay. Nice right there.
Yeah, so that was pretty exciting for like a little 16-year-old.
Was you nervous?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I was nervous my first couple of performances too. Like it just can't anticipate what's gonna happen. And I'm trying to figure out what hand I want to hold the microphone in. Like it was just song nice. Do the DJ got the right song? Did I mix it right?
Exactly.
Like
exactly. Oh my God.
Okay,
just sweat is running down your back.
Okay. So I've noticed that you got a certain kind of style that's not everywhere and stuff like that. Like, what's some representations or influences that came into making your style?
Wow, that's a really great question. It is. I think through time you evolve into different things, right? You're attracted to something at 16, and you're attracted to something at 21, and then 30. Things start to shift, things start to change, priorities start to change. And I really felt like the one constant is I always wanted to do music. I always loved music, and that I had a natural talent for singing, but I also got trained as I was going, because I knew that to sustain myself, it's like an athlete, right? If you're going to run, you got to like stretch, work out, like that kind of thing. So same thing with exactly. So same thing with a vocalist or an instrumentalist. You have to practice. You have to understand your instrument and what does that mean. And then so I was definitely doing a lot of that. And then of course I was playing touring and we were playing like, gosh, I mean, 4 to 5 hours a night. It was like an Olympic runner at 20, you know, you're like, woo, okay. Can I remember all the words? So, and as I went along, different artists inspired me, you know, and I would say probably the pinnacle of all inspiration for me would be, there's a woman named Rochelle Farrell, amazing singer-songwriter right out of Berkeley. Ooh, serious woman. And, you know, she was at the one poignant moment for me. She was at Oakland, I think it was Jazz and Blues Festival or something. I can't remember. Maybe it was just R&B. But anyway, she was beautiful. And she really spoke to people from an authentic place of like, hey, we all have to rise up, you know, and then of course she would, you know, she would talk about it. She'd talk about the community. She would talk about, you know, whatever her platform was at the time. And then she would sing and it would just, wow, just, she's like a 5-octave vocal range. I mean, it's like, I'm so in love with her, like on all levels, like stellar human being, you know? So yeah, she was like my top, I would say. Yeah. And Prince, of course.
Like, it's a thing, like, as far as like, sometimes creativity needs great inspiration. And that's what I'm definitely seeing from right there. So like, as far as like rising in your own example, what's some of the early like challenges you faced as an artist? Not we ain't gonna do traumatic experiences though.
Yeah, no. And I haven't really had those, I guess, or I just dealt with them. So,
I remember this time I fell off the stage, Dre. Yeah, no, we
yeah. No, that did happen, but no, that's okay.
I'm so sorry.
That's so funny. I was dancing and I was okay. Anyway, it was funny, but wasn't at the time. But you know, I would say the biggest challenge and would be really overcoming one's mindset. That's the biggest challenge because you've got your behavior patterns, you've got your things that you've learned through your family, through your community, that you've at what I call you purchased. You bought into it. And then, you know, and then of course you have the naysayers around you. They're like, oh yeah, you know, that kind of thing. And I would say it's your mindset. You have to really work as you work your craft, you have to work your inner craft. You know what I'm saying? You have to work that inner monologue, dialogue, that type of thing, and look for what that is for you. You know, how does that strengthen you? How does that ground you? It has nothing to do with anybody outside of you. It's all right inside here, you know, and then putting into place practices and things that really invigorate you, that make you stand in who you are, your own mission, your purpose. What is that? You know, and to really dig into that, and takes a minute, and it does evolve. You know, who you are at 16 and your mission and your purpose, is completely different, even if you know it at all. It's different when you hit 21. You know, so you have to really look at that and align yourself with that.
You spoke on something like the inner monologue. I think it's a downside of consciousness when it works against you. So like that's a big thing right there. And then it's just, you want to get that inner monologue to align with the purpose that you designing your exterior to be and stuff like that. So I think that's a positive piece of little nugget you done dropped on them right there. And I thank you for that. Because that's what we do on Grind Music and Repeat. We just show love, motivation, power, and peace to every one of these viewers. And maybe we can inspire somebody today to get in the studio. Okay, so what's your studio process like, or like a writing process like? Is it like you take time in the studio to write, or you know, you just get your instrumentation first and then you start writing? What's that process like?
Yeah. It's different each time.
Mhm,
I'm fortunate enough to have a wonderful partner that, is musical, and he's also he also mixes, and but he's a mastering engineer by
mhm.
trade,
Yeah.
and he's always been there for me, and so we co-write, and sometimes he'll
Mhm,
throw me a piece of music, like he was doing hip hop with some East Coast boys, and he's like, "Hey, I got this track.
mhm.
Um, do you wanna work on it?" And I'm like, "Okay." And it
Yeah.
was just like a whole new, whole new genre, but it was
Mhm.
cool because I brought something else to the spoken word, to the hip hop, I
Yeah.
brought that,
Yeah.
right? And so it was like this, and this was like, I don't know, when we did this album, I think,
Mhm.
oh, 3 or 4 years ago or whatever, but, it's just a different process each time, or like sometimes I'll come with lyrics and a melody, and then he'll throw something down like that. Does that work or whatever?
Yeah.
So, yeah, and then yeah, it's whatever comes the way
Yeah.
it comes,
Uh-huh.
right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I tell my producer the same thing sometimes, like, cause he'll like he'll kind of do certain things to kind of gauge where I'm at, like
Yeah.
like kind of talking to a K9, and then you just say the right thing, and then the ears go up. Be like, yeah, that's the song we're working on. Right?
Exactly.
That's what it is. So you a performer, you get in the studio, and you write your own music and come up with the compositions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What you like doing the most?
Uh, well, I wanna say something about that. First of all 3 of those things are
Yeah,
different animals.
yes, it is.
Those are all different skill
Yeah,
sets,
yeah,
and it takes practice to be good
mhm,
at them,
man.
to really be able to express yourself,
Mhm.
and, like, honestly, like, yeah, that was me, like, when you come away, you go, "Yeah, that
Yeah,
was it, right? That was
yeah, I
that was
did
the
that.
bomb.
Yeah.
That was it, yeah." What's my favorite? I don't know, they all have different
Mhm,
reasons, so, um, my favorite when I'm recording
mhm,
is I get to stay very focused, and I think the challenge is to let go,
yeah,
is to,
yeah,
like, really, really express yourself, like,
mhm,
like, authentically.
yeah,
The upside is you can retake it,
mhm, yeah,
and, if something doesn't work for you, or you go back and you listen to it and you kinda go,
mhm,
"Yeah, that's vibing, that's not."
yeah, uh-huh,
Right? And then you can
yeah,
correct it, right?
yeah,
So you've
right,
got that. So that part is fun, and of course,
mhm,
knowing what mic is best for you,
mhm,
having your own cans,
mhm,
having just knowing how to be inside of a studio. How do
yeah,
you work with a producer, like you said?
mhm,
Um, who's the right person in the room? Don't
mhm,
have a lot of people in there.
yeah,
It's not a
yeah,
party. Do that
yeah,
later. Especially if you're serious about your art. If you're serious
mhm,
about partying and just having a scene, that's one thing.
yeah,
Good luck on spending blowing money.
yeah,
Uh, you
dang,
know what I'm saying? It's like
yeah,
I would rather stay focused in my art.
mhm,
Now, when I'm singing live,
mhm,
that's a creative
yeah,
expression.
let's
That's a
talk about that.
heart
Yeah,
expression.
yeah,
That's a you get to take people on a journey. You get to
mhm,
tell them stuff, and you get to feel the interaction back and
mhm,
forth.
yeah,
So that's the upside of that. The downside of that is it's scary.
yeah, yeah,
You could fall off the stage. Forget the lyrics right in the middle,
yeah,
you know.
yeah,
Yeah. And
mhm,
then songwriting's great. Songwriting is fabulous because it's just at a time,
yeah,
um, and you just can do it. And then if the challenge is with it is
yeah,
that what if nothing comes?
mm,
You sit there, you go, "I
yeah,
think I really wanna write about
nice,
that injustice," and
mhm.
then you're like, "Yeah, but what do I wanna say about
Hey,
it?"
yeah.
So,
I think one of the first like I think I got like maybe two or three things I think about when I'm writing.
yeah,
Okay, what am I talking about? Who am I talking to? And who is this for?
yeah,
Like how do I want this to sound? Like those would be like three pillars that I would bring to any kind of project that I'm working
yeah.
on. That's really some tough
Yeah,
like
brilliant, brilliant. Those are great questions.
mhm.
Seriously,
Yeah.
seriously.
Because it's like it's a challenge within yourself. Like you know what you want to do, right? But you want to present it in a fashion where it's like, okay, for one, I want to be original, You know, I don't want to be doing what everybody else is doing. But sometimes it might could be like a trend or some kind of fad that's going on, and then you
Yeah.
might could work your own place in the market out, and then I'm like, yeah, everybody do it like that, but when Dre do it like that, I don't know. It made me think like he started it or something like that. So it's like a thing like that. I've watched a couple of the performances. You got like this that fire in there, you
Mm.
know, like, and what keeps the fire flowing or burning, as people would say, as far as like performing live like that.
Just love,
Mm-hmm.
loving yourself, loving
Yeah.
others,
Mm-hmm.
wanting to make a difference for them,
Mm-hmm.
and just enjoying your craft,
Mm-hmm.
and just being able to get out there and go, "Hey, this is what I'm saying,"
Yeah.
and then when you have the interaction back and forth and you see somebody go, "Oh man, I didn't get," "Wow, I
Yeah.
got that." Then
Yeah.
you just the, "Whoa," it's just like,
Yeah.
"Yay." It's like
Mm-hmm.
having a really good communication.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
I communicated and everyone got it. That's
Mm-hmm.
fabulous.
Yeah. That's it right there. And
Yeah,
then hey, you toured around the world, like, and I know like they probably certain pieces that you created from just in the studio or outside of the studio, and then it's like, dang, I get to really showcase this around the world. Take us into like just a day in the life of being on tour.
sure. Um, it suits me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, you know, I don't mind waking up in hotel rooms and
Mm-hmm.
living out of a suitcase, and
Yeah.
then what's next?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I like it. And
Yeah.
it's not for everybody. There
No.
are people that like a really good friend of mine played with the band Pink Martini,
Mm-hmm.
and they were touring, and he couldn't hang.
Dang.
He was amazing drummer, and he'd go nuts.
Yeah.
Like, he needed that stability. He needed
Mm-hmm.
that "I want home" kinda
Yeah.
thing. And, and it's not like he was out, in some back of a van trying to get it wasn't
Yeah.
like that. He was, like, being treated really well.
Yeah.
And he went off the rails and was drinking, like,
Mm.
went crazy and
Yeah.
became an alcoholic.
Dang.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, it's not for everybody,
Mhm.
but, for me, a day in a life is, but see, I have reasons why I'm there. I have
Mm.
reasons. So, and you gotta stay clear about that and your intentions and
Mm.
why you're doing what you're doing, and when you're done, you're done. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Then you gotta have boundaries,
Yeah.
which is definitely challenging.
Mhm.
I've
Okay.
had a few moments like that. Yeah.
Okay. So, is they any influences into Miss Glenda Benavides' music, or is it just like a kind of just a it's an inspiration that I get from people? Like, is there any other like great musical acts that inspire you?
Yeah, I mean, little bits and pieces from all over, right? So Prince is probably one of my main
Okay.
main and
Yeah.
influences. Not only does he a serious songwriter and he's deep, but he
Mhm.
can sing his ass off, excuse me,
Yeah.
and perform and just be exquisite. You when you see him, he is the music.
Yeah.
He is it.
Mm.
That
Yeah.
is that was his journey.
Mhm.
That's where he's going and coming from.
Yeah.
And not just because he wants to be famous.
Yeah.
That was an outcome
Mhm.
of his passion
Yeah.
for what he was doing,
Right.
right?
Mhm.
Who knows what he was deeply thinking.
Right.
I'm sure he had, his intentions and his
Mhm.
drive, but,
Yeah.
um, but yeah, I would say, I love a great, Bessie Smith, Big
Mhm.
Mama Thornton, is one of my faves. Howlin' Wolf,
Mhm.
uh, of course, Rochelle, but
Okay.
Dakota Staton, Sarah Vaughan, like those were the greats.
Yeah. Shout out to
You
them.
know,
Yeah.
those were the greats. We're standing on their shoulders
Mhm.
because yeah,
Yeah. That's
yeah,
that. Because I noticed like in just in the music industry, like just the artistry side of it, like there is so many people that have came along and did so many great things that we can now do today freely as we can. And I think it's important that we always know who blazed the trails before us and stuff like that. So like it's amazing to hear you speak on a lot of those acts like that. I want to say
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Thank you. Everyone owes it to themselves,
Mhm.
whatever age you're at, it's really important to, if you love music, or you want to be an artist, or you know, whatever your passion is, and you find that you have some talent in it, develop it,
Yeah.
and then get around people that can help you not only develop, but get around people that say, "Hey, have you heard of Robert Johnson?" Who?
Yeah.
Robert Johnson.
Yeah.
Oh, no, let me hear Robert Johnson, you know, Johnson. Those are the people that can help you down a path of the heart, because they were body, mind, and soul. They were expressing themselves because of their pain or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's part of the communication. It's part of
Yeah.
the
It is.
song. It's right. It's part of the
It is.
art. So, and that's why we do art, right? So we can make a difference.
Yeah.
We can rise ourselves up
Yeah.
and rise other people up.
Yes, ma'am. When you say it's a part of the communication, I was thinking about the movie Ray with Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
That was in there. I think what was the dude Ahmed? He was trying to get him to they was working on like, nah, we want you for you. We don't want you to be playing nobody else stuff and stuff like that. He was like,
Yeah.
nah, that's all I got. And he was like, okay, stride piano. You know how to do that? Man, dude taught me how to play piano, stride piano player. And I was like, okay. And then he started doing it. He was like, nah, like a Pete Johnson kind of thing. And then that part of that communication has got to be there. You might need to know who that is. And then that right there, man.
That's right. And just listen to them. Like, sit back and listen to the old recordings, or the or the video and stuff, and you'll get it. You'll get the communication. You'll get it. Yeah. And then you find it in yourself. Don't try to be them, you know, because you can't.
Right. Yeah.
You know.
And then that go to the next question. I seen you talking about exploring yourself and finding out who you are musically. Can you give them a little bit more on that? What you was expounding on?
Yeah. I think it goes all the way back to, who are you now? You know, if you're 20, if you're 40, if you're 60, 80, whatever, it's who are you now, and to really dig in with that, with who, like, you know, and ask those hard questions with yourself, and wait for the answer. Sometimes it's just not like, well, I'm this, you know, sometimes it just don't happen like that. And, you know, once you know, embrace whatever your creativity is, your art, talent, whatever, find yourself inside of that. And the only way to do that is to do it. And then you really find out who you are. And then you start to go, well, I like that, or I don't really like that. Or, you know what, I want to add a little bit of Middle Eastern music into that. And I want to put that with that, you know. So that's how you can really dig into you. You know, and design you. Don't go, oh, I'm gonna listen to Dre, or I'm gonna listen to, you know, Jay-Z or whatever. And you know, they can be an inspiration in the sense of, you know, maybe you like their lyrical content, or their voice, or who they've chosen to work with, which is fine. And there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes. Like, they don't necessarily come in and do it all. You know, and as you know, because they got producers, they got people in there helping you with ideas, redesign some stuff, do this, do that, but don't ever lose yourself.
Right.
Don't ever let somebody take you down a path unless you're okay with that. You know, if you're okay with that, okay, fine. Then that's fine. That's your journey. Yeah, it's what you're learning. But if someone says, "Oh, I think you need to do this," sit back and go, do I really? Do I really? You know, and don't be seduced. Don't be seduced by the fantasy of the golden dream.
That yellow brick road.
Come on in.
Because I'll be thinking sometimes, like, you know what? I like this Dre on this song, and I like this Dre on this song.
Yeah.
I could put them together and see what kind of composition I could get. But while we there talking about that, as an artist, how important is being able to take constructive criticism?
Huge. Huge. You know, and I think that it really, you got to step back and if someone's criticizing you, I mean, take it where it's coming from. Just sit with it for a second.
Don't run.
Yeah, because sometimes people are, or they're jealous or whatever their game is. Depends on who it is, right?
Yeah.
But just really sit back with it and go, okay, let me try that.
Mm-hmm.
Let me try that. Okay, got that. Like a lot of times, I mean, I'm pretty good at going, ooh, that pitch did not work. You need to
Right.
warm up more.
Yeah.
But I also have, my producer too that goes, can you do that one more time?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, go with another one. All right,
That's a
let's do
nice
it.
way to
Yeah.
put it. Can you do
Yeah.
that one more time?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I
Rather than
think you got one more.
yeah. Well, that was awful. Don't do it no more. Nah, don't tell me that. Just go.
Yeah,
Dre, you mind one more time? Let's see if we can get there like that. And that's how,
exactly.
because I don't mind it myself. Because like I would say I'm my biggest critic as far as
Yeah.
like that's what I put down vocally and what I
Mhm.
choose to rap on or what I choose to speak about and stuff like that. And then, like how you say, don't be enticed by people just saying like, "Oh, I think this would be good for you," or knowing in reality, nah, I know what it took for him to
Yeah.
make that. Like, I can't. They certain ways you want to expose yourself to become relentless, but at the same time, you really don't want to divulge too much of your inner dealings and stuff like that because it's sometimes you need that fire for yourself and you just
Yeah.
keep that on the inside rather than
Yeah.
just kind of let everything manifest to its outside.
Yeah. Brilliantly said, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes we call that leaking energy.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to leak that either.
Yeah.
You just want to keep it contained, come in and that's part of like what we were talking about, Dre,
Mm-hmm.
is
It is.
that what's my intention
Mm-hmm.
for the song?
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right? And when
Mm-hmm.
you walk into the studio and you prepare yourself, it'd be like all over the
Yeah.
place. You want to be, woo,
Yeah.
I'm
Locked in
ready.
and here for this, and I'm right there to it.
That's
Oh,
right.
you don't need no
That's
time to want. No, no, nah. I done thought about this for probably like 24 hours, and I'm good. Let's go. It's
yeah,
enough. I don't live with diverse long enough, and that's what we're gonna
exactly.
do. And then
Exactly.
I think of one of those experiences, your mic could be Grammy nominated, like Miss Glenda. How do we get there like that right there? What is that like?
From a
How you feel?
fluke.
I got two. How you feeling, and how did it happen?
I was just talking about this with my people.
Mm-hmm. Shout out.
And yeah, shout out, exactly. It was shocking, I
Mm-hmm.
should say, because I
Okay.
had one of my tracks up for you stay out of the big categories because
Mm-hmm.
those are like
Yeah, yeah, good. Nah.
those are Beyonce and stuff, song of the year, it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, good luck. So you stay out of those categories. But for me, I had put the song is called "We Walk On Past," and
Mm-hmm.
and I talk about it's kind of a heavy song, but I.
Mm-hmm.
No wonder it didn't win. No, no, it was a heavy song, but it's like it talks about where you see the injustices happening,
Mm-hmm.
everything from homeless to, our military to whatever. So I was talking a lot about that, which
Yeah.
I absolutely love the song and I think it's good. And I got major compliments from other artists. So that's a boon for me. And
Okay.
then I had another artist from South America, Ecuador.
Mm-hmm.
He reached out to me and he's a Grammy nominated guy too. And he
Yeah.
reached out and he said, I'd really love for you to work on this album with me. And I
Mm-hmm.
said, okay, send me the track.
Yeah.
And so he sent me the track and he sent me the lyrics. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, well, I usually do the lyrics. So,
Yeah.
okay. So
Yeah.
it was like interesting communication.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, I can work with this. So I went ahead, but I created the melody.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I sent it back to him and I said, okay, well, I want credit, for doing this.
Yeah.
And, it's going to be on this album. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And he was fabulous and
Yeah.
very, very kind. And this is the way
Mm-hmm.
it should be.
Yeah.
Beautiful, open-hearted, let's share
Mm-hmm.
this kind of
Yeah.
experience. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so I cut the vocals, shot it back to him. And then in the same breath, I said, hey, if you don't like it, please let me know. I will re-sing it, I'll
Yeah.
rewrite it, whatever. And he wrote me back and he said, actually, I cried.
Dang.
And I
Okay.
was like, what?
God, hey.
Okay.
Yeah. That mean he loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. And he's a blues player, right?
Yeah.
So, contemporary blues album is
Mhm.
what it is, called The
Yeah.
Fury. So
Okay.
anyway, so I said, "Okay," and I thought it was just a throwaway,
Yeah.
you know how that is. Sometimes you just like
Mhm.
go, "Oh, that I not" throwaway meaning like, "I didn't work so hard on
Work
this
on
thing
it.
that I'm
Yeah.
gonna kill
Yeah.
myself," you know what I
Right.
mean? But I worked it, of course,
Yeah.
out of, love and respect for my
You
art
just
and
wasn't expecting too much to return from it. Okay.
exactly.
Okay.
And so I'm on the voting, right? Or
Mhm.
actually we voted, I voted, then the following month or whatever, after we were done with voting, then they have nominations, right?
Mhm.
And so they list out the nominations and they also do a video for us as artists, right? So we get to see, nominations. So I'm I'm in the nomination. I'm like,
Yeah.
Blue roots artist. There I am. I'm like, oh, no.
Dang.
Then I went into my next category, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, no, no, I didn't get nominated, right?" And I went, "Okay, contemporary blues album, da, da, da." What?
Oh, yeah.
Oh
There
my
you go.
god.
That's the moment right there.
That was the moment,
Yeah.
and I was stunned. I was just like,
Mhm.
"Is
Yeah.
this real?" Like, and it sometimes it feels like it's gonna be taken away.
Mhm.
Like, it feels weird like that.
Oh,
I've been
like
having to
still dreaming.
yeah, like
Yeah.
I you have ever done, like, when you were a kid or whatever, like, you were so excited about something and then
Mhm.
and then they took it away,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
they told you, "No, you can't go,"
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah.
Like, "Oh." And
Yeah.
so that was what I was kinda sitting with. I was like,
Yeah.
Is it gonna be taken away?" It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
all my friends were like, "No, you're
No,
nominated. What are you,
you're good.
crazy? Like, this
Yeah.
is official." So
Uh,
I'm like, "Okay."
yeah.
So anyway, it's been interesting and fun and
Mhm.
humbling,
Yes. Yeah.
actually. Yeah.
Very. Yeah.
Yeah.
Your creative spirit is alive right now. And you say you got a book. Let's get into the book, right?
Yes, my book.
Let's go into the inspiration for the book. Let them get the name of the book. Yeah. Let's do that.
This is my book, you guys. It's called Courage.
Mhm.
Find your fire and ignite action in your life. And
Yeah.
basically, I decided to write the book, kind of out of a dare. No, um, I've read 'em.
That's Isaac Newton discovered calculus on the dare. So it's just sometimes it can happen. Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, it was like a dare to myself, really, but,
Yeah.
I had a friend that, like, he was like, "He's been writing this book for, like, 10 years." I'm like,
Mhm.
"How hard is it to write a book?" You know?
Yeah.
And I don't consider myself a writer, like,
Yeah.
of an author of,
Yeah.
huh.
Yeah.
Um,
Mhm.
but I decided that, you know what? I asked myself the question, "Do I have anything of value
Mhm.
to say that would support somebody?" And
Yeah.
so I went, "Okay, well, make an outline." So I made this outline, and in the outline, I thought, "Well, what are the stages of having clarity,
Mhm.
courage,
Mhm.
confidence,
Yeah.
commitment,
Yep.
and community?" And I
Mhm.
went, "You know what? It happens in that way. You've
Yeah.
gotta be clear about who you are and
Mhm.
what you want. What
Got
is
it.
your mission?
Yep.
What's your purpose?" And
Mhm.
once you've latched onto that, then you can have the courage to move forward to do something.
Mhm.
And then once you have the courage, then the confidence starts to come. It's like, "Okay, I got this.
Yeah.
I got this.
Roll.
My
Yeah.
confidence is building," right?
Mhm.
And then after you have confidence, then you can have commitment. You can step into commitment. "I'm
Mhm.
committed to this,"
Yeah.
right? Or
Mhm.
"I'm not committed to that," and then start the process all over.
Mhm.
And then once you have that commitment, then you can have community, because
Mhm.
community will see you
Yes.
and they'll be inspired by you
Mhm.
and they'll wanna take on their own life. And
Yes,
that's
ma'am.
the only reason I believe that we're here, is to realize that we are all one,
Mhm.
and that when you win, I win.
Yep. That's it right there.
And
That's one of
that's
my biggest
that's the way it
messages.
is, man.
Yeah. That's one of my biggest messages right there. Like, we all won and we already won. And like, I'm
Beautiful.
not the only one that win when I win. Like, it's just so many people like right now, like I could just I ain't got enough fingers to to thank the people that help contribute to, whether they knowingly contributed or not, just a
Yeah.
little piece of that inspiration, that little push across the edge, or
Yeah.
where you get into that ultra instinct,
Yeah.
like just getting there like that. And they just so many people that's from so many walks of life, like, and then I just thank them for, like, like not giving up on me, or not just looking down on me since I ain't got it how I got it, or whatever, and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
just if I could help them, I'm gonna help them. But if I can't, I ain't gonna get in his way though. So like
Yeah.
that kind of thing right there.
Beautiful, beautiful, Dre.
Mhm. That's
Yeah, you hit it right on the head, man. And you know
mhm,
what it is? It's you. It's
mhm.
who you're being in the face of whatever that has inspired people to
Yeah,
go, "Here, let me help you.
yeah.
Got
Mhm.
you. I
That right
got you."
there. Yeah. And then
You
I
know?
know that you got to be doing something for
Mhm.
somebody to be able to help you. They can't help you do nothing, but they can help you do something though. Like you don't need no help for that. Like,
Exactly. They can't help you do nothing.
nah, you don't need no help for that.
You got that on your own.
Yeah, right. You got that. If you try and do something, you try and take it somewhere, you know what?
Yeah,
If I can't get you to that direction myself, I might could point out somebody that can. And
that's right.
that's inspiring right
That's
here.
right.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right. That little act of kindness, really,
Yep.
truly, it's
It goes
real.
it goes so far. It
That
goes so far.
and it doesn't have to be massive, like, you don't have
Mm,
to go save the world or something, you know?
nah.
I mean, unless, of course, you're inspired to, but,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? It's like
Mhm.
and I think if we had more of that and more understanding and having people really work on their own stuff,
Yeah.
like, and step out of victim, step out of
Mhm.
like, "Oh, I need to be important,"
Yeah.
it's like, no, that's from lack.
Right.
That's not coming from, um what would be the word? I feel full. I feel
Mhm.
I'm good.
Mhm.
I have something to share,
Yeah.
something like that. And if
Right.
we were all standing in that place instead of like, hate and you got more than me or why are,
Yeah.
that, it's in that
Yeah.
victim pile. It's like and it's
Yeah.
easy to fall into.
Mhm.
It's not like it's, but you have to be conscious. You
Right.
have to
Yeah.
start allowing yourself consciousness and
Mhm.
rise above
Yeah.
whatever, you know, um, what's the word? I always hate this word. Whatever marker you are,
Mhm.
it's like, well,
Yeah.
I'm this or I'm that or no, you're a human being,
Right. Yeah.
you
I think
know?
it's a line between, like, especially maybe, well, as artists, that we kind of we gotta tread it the right way, like the line between arrogance and confidence.
Yeah.
Like and then you cannot confuse the two, because
No,
then you might run somebody off. Your opportunity might just leave if they see you presenting yourself in the wrong kind of fashion.
that's
That,
right.
that's a man.
Yeah.
You got to travel that right there.
Based on what you just said, that whole confidence,
Hmm.
that is the righteous place
Yes.
because
Yeah.
because, you know, confidence just breeds or elicits
Hmm.
your your solidarity inside
Hmm.
yourself.
Yep. Hmm.
You don't have to prove anything, you don't
Hmm.
have to be
Yeah.
something, you don't
Yeah.
have to be this or that,
Hmm.
you're just you, and
Yeah.
you have something to share about it, and once you do that, you step into that confidence.
Yes. Yes. That's
Not
it. That's it. Walk into it. Don't try to run into it. You ain't got to
mm-mm,
take off flying into it. You got to.
or pretend that you have
Yeah.
it,
Nah.
because
You don't.
that's then you're leading into the arrogance,
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
because you have nothing to connect to,
Right. It's just a
right?
false sense of self, and ain't
Thank you.
nothing to lean on. It's just
Thank
maybe it'll happen, but if it ever shatters, you're gonna be broken. And then that's the thing. Like, you bend but don't break.
Yeah.
There we go.
Absolutely,
There we go.
absolutely, and you shift when you need to shift.
Just you got to. You
Yeah,
got to, like, it's not like a certain place of being that everybody has to be in. It's like, nah, if this what you need for you, you got to do that. And if you see something else, you got to do that too. And then don't be scared. Take the chance. Take the
absolutely,
chance. Take risks.
absolutely.
Change fortune like a roll of the dice. Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's it. Upcoming events and releases. What we got going on?
Oh, I've redone a cover
Hmm.
of, God's Gonna Cut You Down.
Okay.
Yeah, Johnny Cash did it. Marilyn Manson did one.
Mhm.
It's been mostly men, but
Mhm.
I'm gonna do it as a female.
Ooh, okay.
So
Yeah.
I'm getting ready to go in the studio for that. We got
Mm,
that cut, and I'm working
yeah.
with a guitar player, Josh Lanzanati, I think is his name.
Mhm.
He works with Nora Jones, and
Okay.
he did the guitar track, and I was like, wow, it's
Yeah.
just super
Yeah.
sexy,
Presentation is
deep.
amazing.
It's
Yeah.
deep. So that's what's happening. I've got a couple other things coming up. Well, we got Grammys coming up, of course.
Mhm. Yeah.
And
Good. Yeah, yeah, let's get you one.
yeah, let's just get one, okay?
Yeah.
And then let's get some other people.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
And then pass it on.
Mhm.
Then what else do I have? Oh, and then I'm working on a like a 1-hour show performance
Mhm.
that has video, audio,
Mhm.
uh yeah, my audio is voiceover and then
Mhm.
me singing live with
Yeah.
inside of the conversations of
Mhm.
courage and confidence. So it's kind of a hybrid. So
Yeah.
I'm working on that and gonna be selling that
Mhm.
performance. And then yeah, do some retreats. I'm gonna
Yeah.
pop into some retreats and
Yeah.
share that and
Mhm.
just keep
That's
uplifting people. So
yeah.
yeah,
That's amazing right there. That's amazing. Miss
time is
Glenda
now.
Benavides, I enjoyed you on this show. Um, I wish you the best of luck on that Grammy nomination. And I just hope that you keep inspiring people and creating on a higher level. I think it's just it exudes from you like, and it's borderline contagious too. Like it's a great energy that you got. Make me want to go get in the studio today. I'm gonna
Yes.
go home and light it up. That's what we
Light
got.
it up. I love it. I love it. I
Okay,
love
but
it, love it.
we like to end the show with like sending out some love to somebody. You got somebody you want to send some love to? Shoot it out to them.
Okay. Well, my cousin's pretty sick,
Mm,
so I'm gonna send her some love and just
yeah,
everybody that's touched my life.
yes,
I'm
ma'am. We have,
sending them all out the
yeah,
love.
yeah.
Mhm.
That's what we got to. We hope she recover well. That's what.
Yes.
And then we're gonna
Thank you.
close it out, Miss Benavides. I thank you for coming, joining on the show. This is amazing right here. I love these conversations that we created. I know for a fact somebody is gonna find a piece of this and be inspired in some kind of way, and that's what
Absolutely.
it's gonna be. And they have you to thank for that right there. So
Absolutely.
I thank you.
Thank you, Dre, and blessings to you, and, I look forward to hearing your music.
Okay. Yeah.
Send me
Yeah.
some stuff,
Uh,
yeah,
yeah.
and if people wanna, follow me or whatever, they
Yeah.
can just go Glenda.music.com. That's
Hmm.
easy. Don't have to
Okay.
spell out Benavides.
Right. All right.
Yeah,
That's nice. And
yeah.
thank you to Mickey too.
Yes,
Yes. Yes.
yes.
Tell him I said thank you.
He's a delightful man.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Hmm.
Super big heart, big heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Miss Benavides, I want you to enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank
Um,
you, Dre.
Stay out of that California cold. Don't catch no cold.
I
And then
won't.
keep on
Okay.
getting in that studio writing that magic.
I know. Thank you.
All right.